Hey Trekkies, it's summer, and you know what that means. It's time for Creation Entertainment's Trek to Las Vegas 2025. This year, the convention has been expanded to a 5-day schedule, August 6th through the 10th at the Rio Las Vegas Hotel. Meet all your favorite Star Trek pros in one place, and hey, maybe you swing by Vic's Lounge and you see our panel. It's a great way to meet people in person and have some fun with your fellow Trekkies. If you can't make it to Star Trek Las Vegas, of course, there's also other events around the country this year. Trek to Orlando, August 23rd through 24th. There's the Trek to New Jersey, September 6th and 7th. And finally, the Trek to Chicago, November 22nd and 23rd. We're looking forward to meeting as many of you as we can this year. So make sure that you get ready to trek to Las Vegas.
Is this thing on? Hello, hello. Welcome to Open Pike Night. I'm your host, John T. Folds, here tonight with a special episode from our time at Trek Long Island. Cam and I were able to go this year, and we were a part of 5 panels combined. And tonight we're bringing you audio from a couple of those panels. First up is going to be our Let's Fly Discovery Retrospective panel, where we sat down with some of the cast of this final season of Discovery and discussed the end of the first show in the new Trek era. After that, you'll hear part of our panel on Strange New Worlds Season 3, Theories and Queries. And worry not, callers, when the time comes, we will absolutely combine some of your theories and queries as well, but be sure to give it a listen. I think there's some great ideas in there, and we had a great time. So first up, please enjoy Let's Fly, a Star Trek Discovery retrospective hosted by Open Pike Night at Trek Long Island 2024.
Sounds like we're good.
All right, we got a room full of working mics. We got a room full of great fans of Star Trek Discovery out there. All right. Well, I am John T. Folds. I'm one of the hosts of Open Pike Night Podcast.
I am Cameron Harrison. I'm also a host of Open Pike Night Podcast.
And if you haven't heard Open Pike Night Podcast yet, we're like the only Star Trek podcast out there. How could you not have heard of us? I mean, what's going on, folks? But we're here today to host the Let's Fly, a Star Trek Discovery Spotlight podcast. We're having a discussion tonight, and we want to welcome you all to our panel, and thank you for coming. It's a little chilly in here, so we're going to heat it up, but I just got to say thank you to Trek Long Island, to all of the organizers, to Melissa, the stage manager, to Flash, working tech tonight. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, to all of the volunteers out there, to our friend Mark, to everybody who's at every desk helping folks. Like, let's give them all a huge round of applause. So, if you have not heard Open Pike Night, we are a call-in podcast. We have our listeners. We put the word out when we get a guest. We do a lot of interviews, or when we're talking about a Strange New Worlds episode, because those come out all the time. But we say, we put out the word about 3-4 days ahead of time. Say, send us your thoughts. Send us a 90-second clip. It's very easy. You turn on your voice recorder in your phone, record a file, email it to us, and we play it, and we help those guide our conversation. And also, if we're having one of the cast members or crew members call in, send your thoughts, send praise, you wouldn't believe the looks of joy on their faces when they hear, we just say, oh, here's somebody else from around the world telling you how awesome you are. They love it. It's a great time, and it's great participation in our podcast, and we couldn't be more appreciative. We're also Open Pike Night, an Open Pike Night themed podcast. So we do ask every one of our guests to tell us a joke at the end of the recording. We warn them ahead of time. We don't spring it on them. Sometimes we spring it on them because if we went through a representative, they may not hear the word that they're supposed to bring a joke, but they always bring something pretty good. So I figured, we're here tonight. We're not going to spring it on our guests. So I'll tell the joke tonight. So, a Vulcan, a human, a Breen, and an Orion walk into a bar. bartender looks at them and says, "That joke killed on Betazoid." Cam, you got this.
On the way. Okay.
I guess we gotta keep
Got any
going.
more jokes, John?
Right.
No?
I don't have any more jokes. That was my whole joke. That was
But
my
you
whole
will also have a chance to ask your questions. We'll have the mic. I think we're going to be down stage left, your right, down here.
Yes,
We'll give you a heads up on when we're going to open up to the audience about halfway through.
Yeah, and so in true open pike night, in true open pike night spirit, please make sure you bring your best questions, your best comments, show appreciation for our guests tonight. If you have not seen season 5 of Discovery, one, what have you been doing? I mean, it literally just ended the day before this convention. And we have a bunch of the cast here tonight. So let's introduce them. Let's bring our guests on.
Ready? Let's bring them on. All right. I see Orville Cummings, Lieutenant William Christopher.
All right.
Tara Rosling, Tarina herself. Janet Kidder, Osira. I'm pretty intimidated right now. And Elias Tufexis is Locke. Thanks so much for coming, guys. I want to make sure I can see you all.
I know.
All right, well, let's start before we dive headlong into Star Trek, which is why we're all here. We like to go back a little bit. I want to ask each of you how you got into acting. What gave you the bug? Just your quick bio.
The longest answer ever.
We'll start down there with Elias.
Oh, I always, there was nothing else I really had any intention of doing since I was a little kid. I think it was, and this is not because I'm here, but I just wanted to be Captain Kirk. That's all I wanted to do. And I didn't know what that meant, so I just, until I studied acting, I just thought, I'm going to end up on TV somehow. And William Shatner and I literally grew up on the same street. So he was always kind of a hero of mine because of that. And and then I just, was always going to be an actor. It was never anything else. And I eventually learned what it actually meant. And I went to school and did all that. And then just hit the ground running and the grind until you just get the job that help you pay the bills. That's what ended up happening with me, pretty simple.
I had the pleasure, I guess, of being on the set of Superman with my aunt when I was young. Yay! And so that inspired me, and I never, ever wanted to do anything else either. It's like once you get the bug, sadly, it gets right under your skin, and there's no way of making it go away. So yeah, that's what happened for me.
I'm just going to preface by saying my name's Tara. It's okay. Everybody's doing it today. On a whim, when I was 13, I decided I really wanted to take an acting class, and my mom and my grandmother pooled their resources, and I went to some obscure modeling agency in Vancouver where they had a class in acting. I had an amazing teacher. She gave me a monologue, coached me a little bit. It was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever experienced, and I decided I wanted to be an actor.
Mic check 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. So I grew up in a small island called Jamaica, and I grew up as an only child. Thank you. Big up Jamaica. And I've always had this big imagination, and subconsciously I knew I always wanted to be a performer, but it was never presented to me as something that I could do as a career until I came to Canada. And a friend of mine, I asked him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he's like, "An actor." I'm like, You could do that? You could just decide? And he's just like, "Yeah, what do you want to be?" An actor. And ever since I did that, I've been taking drama, went to school, took classes, and I've never looked back. And I couldn't decide what I wanted to do as a career outside of acting. And I'm like, there's so much to choose from. Why don't you just choose all of them? Because as an actor, you have no limit to what you can become in this life. And I love humans and I love psychology. I'm like, it has every one of my interests in one career. So there's no way I would do anything else aside from this.
Can I ask real quick, what is your triple's name?
Oh, my triple. Oh, man. Turn him on? Okay, you guys want to hear him?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get into acting?
How do triple? How do you get into? Oh, dang. Okay. All right.
Ask him what his problem with Klingons is.
For now, this triple is called Milo. See, that's his name. He loves that. There's a popular drink in Jamaica that I grew up drinking, and it was the same color as him, so that's his name.
That is fantastic, and that's what we know how y'all got started. And now that Discovery's done, and you have all played your parts on this incredible series, if you could pick up the phone and call yourselves the day you got offered a role and to be part of Star Trek and part of Star Trek Discovery, what would you tell, ask, say? What would you say to yourself if you could talk to them on that day?
You guys looking at me? I'll talk. I think I would take it a little further, and I would tell my 15-year-old self that I was going to shut up, Milo, and I was going to be on Star Trek. That would, there's footage out there that I've posted of me on a little bridge that I made in my friend's basement in the captain's chair doing a TV show that we made of Star Trek when I was 14 or 15. So I imagine going back and telling that kid, like going home that day, going like, dude, I know you're just pretending, but you're going to sit on the actual bridge pretty soon of the Enterprise. Not pretty soon, 20 years or so. Just be patient, and that would blow my mind back then. It was blowing my mind just showing up every day to work. Never mind just telling my 15-year-old self. Yeah, it's great.
Excellent.
I guess I would. That was not Osiris' voice. I guess I would say to never give up, and you never know what's around the corner. So follow your dreams and keep going. If you follow your heart and do this crazy thing in life, then I don't think you can be let down. Had I known I was going to sit in the captain's chair, much to everyone's distaste, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to get to do that. Have fun. Yeah, that's it.
This is to the Tara that booked the gig. Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess I would say just wait, because it's going to become one of the most extraordinary adventures in TV land that you've ever had. Because when I initially booked the role of Trina, first of all, I didn't know she was Vulcan or a president, but I did know that it was for one episode, and what it blossomed into, I never could have imagined. And it's I'm sure you've all heard, the entire cast and crew are extraordinary human beings. Led by Sonequa, who has a heart of gold and is exceedingly generous. And it just truly was a joy to come to work. Yeah.
I've never been on such a happy set in my life. Across the board, every single person on there every day was so thrilled to come to work. So it's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
If I were to call myself and say, I would say, "You're going to space, boy! You're going to space, boy!" Oh man. Because growing up, I loved sci-fi, and I've never gotten much opportunity to audition for sci-fi shows. So this was my first audition for a sci-fi show, and they were very vague about it, that it was Star Trek, but I do my research and I figured it out. And I kind of wish I didn't, because then I got really nervous. I'm like, this is Star Trek. But if I could call myself again, I would say you're going to space, boy, but also everything you've worked for, everything you believed in yourself to be true, is going to come into fruition, and it's going to become tangible for you, and it's because you never gave up, and this is a moment that you want to keep going. So Orville, this is your reward for keep believing in yourself, for all the work you've done, and if you keep doing it, there's more to come.
That's excellent.
All right, well, I want to talk smooching a little bit. So Tara and Elias, you both had kissing scenes on each side of...
Not with each other, as far as I remember.
But
Did we have something that... Well, that was offset. Yeah. That was
could you
before.
tell under all those prosthetics? And that's the point. So you've lots of prosthetics. Does that make a kissing scene more awkward or less awkward?
I'll say this, that 9 times out of 10, my lips ended up stuck to Eve. So, yeah, it was not easy. Especially, like, the hotter it was, the more my face would come off after every kiss. No, it was hard. It was much more difficult for her, I'm sure. So she's got to kiss this weird thing. Yeah, it's not a difficult hardship to kiss Eve, but it was very sticky and gross, and I'm glad it came across. And they didn't do a really good close-up of the kiss because it would have looked weird. But it would have made sense because like the brine are kind of jelly, so he couldn't hold it together, and it was sticky because he was so turned on or something. Yeah. There's some fanfic out there you guys can write, I'm sure.
Do not Google.
No, do it. Don't listen to him. Do it.
Yeah, Tara, any thoughts on the other side of the prosthetics? Kissing Saru?
Well, I have to say, when I read the script, I was a bit reluctant about the idea of not kissing Doug Jones, but of kissing a rubber prosthetic, in terms of how it would sell, how it would come across. And I did talk to Doug about it, and he reassured me. He's like, "You've seen Shape of Water, right?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, I kissed Sally Hawkins in that, and did it sell?" And I was like, "Yes." And I just had to trust on the day that when they shot the scene and they said they were happy that it looked realistic. And I haven't seen the finale yet, so I don't actually know what it looks like. Totally worked.
It's also weird because Saru doesn't have any lips. Like he has no lips. It must have been very, very tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love the chin boop. The chin boop. Was that written or was that improvised?
The chin boop?
That was. I think the chin was something that maybe we did early on, and Doug had a recollection of that, and so he said, "Why don't we bring that back as a signature gesture between the two of them?"
Excellent. So,
Just putting her finger on his little chin boot. It's very sexy, Janet.
well, you have plenty of time to practice those because now that Discovery's over, and as you look out on this crowd, I mean, you are now part of not just a pop culture, but a culture. And how does it feel knowing you're always going to be welcomed like this?
There's no fan base that is as welcoming as a Star Trek fan base. It's crazy. It's just from online. I noticed it before I even started doing these Comic-Cons. And also, speaking for myself, if I wasn't here, I'd be sitting right there. Like I'm that much of a geek. So not that geek's a bad thing anymore, right? It's a good thing. I'm proud to be a Star Trek geek. And I didn't realize how welcoming. Not only is the fans super welcoming, but everybody on every Star Trek show, and I'm not kidding, every person I've met from all of the shows, super welcoming. And just welcome to the family, welcome to this crazy thing that you're about to embark on. It's great. It's my favorite thing about this whole event.
I feel really privileged to be part of this world. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that much about it before I got on the show. I'd watched the oldest Star Treks. Mm-hmm. And so I was really quite surprised at the actual universe that has been created by the shows and by the people that love them. And I just really appreciate being here and appreciate how much you guys get out of this world and these characters. It's an honor. So yeah, thank you.
I'd very much reiterate what Elias and Janet have said, that first and foremost, I had no idea of the culture and the epic nature of the fan base, because I didn't have very much of a history with the show. I was completely blown away by the response, and it has been such a joy. This is just my third, but why I keep doing conventions is because it's such a joy to meet you all. You're all bring so much generosity and warmth and enthusiasm that it's very thrilling to feel the response.
Yeah, I always knew the Star Trek fan base was massive. I wish I prepared myself more, because there was this is a funny story. There was a time I was outside my apartment and I just took a shower and just in a bathrobe. I'm just crazy like that. So I came out because my friend was taking an Uber and I was helping him look for the Uber. I'm like, it's over there, and I'm yelling and people are looking at me just half naked in my bathrobe. And one guy walked across and he stops and he's like, hey, I know you. You're on TV. Yeah, you're that. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, yeah, it's me. Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, just don't tell anybody that I'm out here like this, man. He's like, I see you. I'm like, yeah, we made that clear that you saw me. Just keep it moving, man. All right. thanks for the love though. And then I went back inside. Keep watching.
Well, speaking of fans, a lot of the actors we've talked to have talked about how once they were cast in Star Trek, they found out just how many Star Trek fans they had in their life. Did you have any surprising friends or family come out of the woodwork as Trekkies when they found out you were in the show?
Yes. My best friend's mom, I did not know she was one of the biggest Star Trek fans. And when she found out that I booked the role, she came all the way, I live in Toronto, she came all the way from Brampton, which is like an hour out, and she came just to give me a hug and to hype me up, and I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't know you were such a big fan. So anytime I get like a prop, a souvenir, I bring it back and I offer it to her because she's been like a second mom to me. So the fact that she's so proud of me, it just, I don't know, it made me realize how special this thing really is to people. So that hit home for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I live in a very small community in southern Ontario, and there's been a number of people that have very enthusiastically responded to some of the posts I've made, and I even had a guy at the dog park ask me if he could have my Vulcan ears. And I delivered, so.
And then he gave them to his dog.
I've had a lot of my students come to my classes with, photographs and memorabilia that they would like to be signed. My family, not so much. My kids, I'm almost cool now to my kids. Like I'm verging on maybe being cool, but no hidden family Star Trekkers in my life. No.
For me, we're all Star Trek nerds, so I was sending. The first thing you see when you walk on the Star Trek set is no pictures. And I don't think there is an order in my life that I have disobeyed more than no pictures. I think I took 10,000 pictures. And so I went the opposite direction. And I just was, they're going to kill me. But I was emailing my family, just like, look, it's the Enterprise, look, it's a Jeffries tube. Like, just like totally freaking out, because they're all, giant Star Trek fans. Because that's how it came to me. It was all through my dad and his brothers, my uncles, and they would watch it religiously. So, yeah, no surprise Star Trek fans, just obvious ones.
Was there a big, one notable reaction maybe when you delivered the news?
I think everybody was like, cool. Like I would walk on these sets and I'd be like, yeah. It's the Enterprise. Cool. And then deep down, I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, freaking out. So, yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how to react to it. Like, I'll watch the show, I'll meet everybody, you guys, and I'm just like, this is so weird. Because, like I said, I would honestly be right there. I used to come to these cons. I used to come to these cons and pay to come in. Now I'm getting paid to come. So, I'm not complaining. It's very cool.
Jenna, you mentioned teaching. You mentioned your students. We all know stereotypical gift for teachers from students is an apple. Have you gotten more or less apples since your infamous scene with Admiral Vance?
I don't know how to answer that question.
That's probably the appropriate response.
No, go for it.
Well, maybe this is springing something on y'all, but this is called the Let's Fly panel, which is, of course, Michael Burnham's go phrase or captain phrase. If you all got to captain a starship, what would your go phrase be? I know you've thought about this, Elias.
No, I haven't. Man, that's a good question. I think, so on that video I was telling you about that I made when I was a kid, the Star Trek one, it was a kind of a comedy Star Trek thing that we did, and I was the captain, and my thing was, Thunderbirds are go. That was my thing. Which is very esoteric nowadays. Nobody's going to know what that means, but that's what it was. But I don't know if I would use that. Now I'd be like, where's Maul? That's all I'd care about.
I think I would just say, go, 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 go faster. Let's go upside down. Let's play around in this machine.
Let's go upside down.
Let's go upside down, right? Go, go, go. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I would say what Olatunde would always say to me when he was directing me. he would say, "Vulcanize it."
That's a really good question because me and David Thomason, who plays Linus on Discovery, him and I, when the cameras aren't rolling, we're constructing our own side stories. It's like, when we're done on the USS Discovery, we're gonna run our own ship. We'll both be captains, 50-50. We're gonna call it Black Dragon. I'll be the black, and you be the dragon. And we'll have these cool bikes, and we'll call them lizards. It's gonna be so sick, and we're gonna pitch it to the showrunners and everything. We're gonna get that spin-off. It's gonna be a comedy. It's gonna be about a heist. But if I would have a catchphrase, it's a catchphrase I say to all my friends before we go work out, before we leave the house, before we do anything or go on a mission. I'm just like, let's get it! Get everyone hyped.
Hashtag make Black Dragon happen.
Make Black Dragon happen.
No, should we open it up to the audience? And we'd love to hear from you. Do you folks have any questions for our wonderful guests today?
Just line up off to the left here. We've got a mic for everybody.
All right.
Ready. We meant to give you a heads up, sorry.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Blessed.
I'm just letting my compadres come through.
There's a switch on it, too.
no pressure, guys. We're all staring at you.
Sorry, y'all. I work in fast food. Time is everything. I just want to say I love y'all. Thank you so much for Discovery. I am definitely one of those people who did not see the series finale yet because I was at work, and then I had to come here today, so I didn't have time to watch it. But I do want to say, when it comes to season 3 of Discovery, I will defend season 3 of Discovery and Osira to the day I die. Osira is such a G. Every time I defend her, I get so much hate, I do not care. That's my girl, with the exception of when you killed your nephew, because I thought he was pretty attractive, and I was kind of mad about that. But I'm gonna let it slide. So I just want to ask you, what was your favorite aspect of playing Osira? And I also want to say, I also loved you in Office, what was it, Operation Christmas Drop on Netflix. That was, loved it.
That's a whole other switch. For me, being Osira was the first time I'd ever acted in full prosthetics. And I found a real beautiful freedom in being behind that mask. I think my favorite moment was defiling the chair. Like that, I had no idea the amount of intense sort of respect and admiration people had for the captain's chair. The actors that work on that set don't even touch it. I did. I was like, well, Osira is just gonna get in it and stick her leg up on it and start moving around, and you could hear the set just kind of go, ooh. So I think for me, that was the most fun. That was the most standout moment, because I really had no idea the negative effect it would have on many, many people. I've had people at cons going, I don't want your autograph because you're a bitch. Osira was a bitch. And it's like, job well done then, I guess. Right? Yeah. So that would be it.
So my question is for Elias. I see you wearing a KO shirt.
We're gonna talk wrestling now?
If Locke had a finishing move, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
And do you have a wrestling persona that you'd want to
So,
play?
this is the truth. For about 4 months, I trained to be a pro wrestler. I had a ring, and my character was Twisted Steel. That was his name. And my tag team partner was Sex Appeal. So we were Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. And the joke being, I am not Twisted Steel, and he had no sex appeal. Because we were bad guys. Of course, we were bad guys. I only play bad guys. What would Locke's finishing move be? Man, it's a good question. It would be something. Wait, he can turn himself into jelly. So it would be some sort of hold, like a figure 4 leg lock, but like he twists it back, like a Boston crab mixed with a leg lock, something like that. Anyway, we can talk wrestling a lot. Yeah, that's cool. One thing I will say, it was very hard to fight in the Locke getup. Like in the Breen costume, it was like a nightmare. You had to wear the Breen costume, didn't you? Did you wear the Breen costume? No, you didn't. it was a nightmare to wear that thing because it's like, okay, punch, and you're like, ah, and you can't really turn it. And then the makeup was really heavy and the head was really heavy. So it's hard to fight. So I don't know. Maybe his move would just be a sleeper hold. Just like, look, I can't do anything else. Something like that.
I just want to say to anybody who didn't understand it, that's what it's like for everybody else when we talk about Star Trek. That is what it's like.
Very true. You see, Cody Rhodes won at 41.
Exactly.
Hi, this is also for Janet. First, I love your shoes, but that's not my question, but they're really cool. My question is, I see that you had a role in a film about J.K. Rowling, and I was wondering if you could just comment a little bit on what you did in that film.
Yeah, I played J.K. Rowling's mom, and she died of MS when she was in her 40s, and J.K. Rowling was kind of at the height of her new celebrity when we made that film, and it was just a really nice thing to be a part of because she had created the Harry Potter legends out of nothing. She was a single mom. She was a desperate sort of single mom. I came from a single parent family. I am a single mom, so it's just really nice to be able to support a human in that way and to have her story told like that. And it was just it was a really cool thing to be a part of. My kids were really young at that point, and I made the mistake of watching it with them. And they didn't like the fact that I had other children. They found that really, really tricky. And when I died, it took a long time for them to get over that. It was a really sad thing to watch them go, hello. But it's like I'm here. But it was a lovely thing to be a part of, to tell that story and really, celebrate J.K. Rowling and all the hard work that she put into creating her, fabulous success story. Yeah. Thank you.
How did your kids feel about Osiris? Yeah.
Like I said, she's kind of cool, Their friends thought she was cool, so they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a little bit of coolness, yeah.
I just want to say Osiris is great because she was playing the personification of the ultimate enemy of Star Trek, capitalism. And just to play off of that, I was wondering if you could tell, there's a myth on the internet that for 10, 12 episode seasons, they actually spread the production out the entire year to make it easier on you. But I was wondering, is the production schedule the same per episode where you're only working so I heard you're only working half a year. The Toronto stage crew, discussion boards, are saying that a lot of things is dead up there now. And I was just wondering how things are going, up in Canada and for the careers as far as working in the new short season streaming world.
I'd say just generally, it's a very weird time right now. The strike messed up a lot of stuff, and everything is shorter. Like you said, I work a lot in games, and everybody's getting fired in games, and it's a really it's a very odd time. And yeah, I wish we worked back in the days where we had 23 episodes to shoot, right? Instead of 10 or 12. But I don't know enough about it to know why. It's obviously financial and streaming and all that stuff. Go ahead, Janet.
But it seems I find it such a conundrum because people are making a lot of money on, there's so many streaming services, people are watching. It's I'm not quite sure, but, we're making feature films, small films in 15 days now, as opposed to, 3 months or 6 months. Everything is being whittled down to the bare minimum. It is a really strange time to be an actor. I can't speak to what it's like in the States, but certainly since the strike in Canada, it's like a wasteland right now.
It's like that. It's like that in the U.S. too.
There are shows all over the place, but
Says they're taking revenge against the strikers, against the unions and
yeah, it's
maybe. Who knows?
And I don't know, it feels like it might have changed forever in a way. I'm not quite sure what the future holds now, but I think
we'll be doing Star Trek conventions for the rest of our lives.
See you here next year.
We'll keep you employed.
I have something for each one of you. First of all, thank you so much for being the antithesis of your character, your energy. I'm sorry, we could, thank you. We are all jealous of you. You've gotten more Doug hugs than anyone else. Osira, thank you. Just thank you for giving us a character that we could jump up off the couch and scream and hate. And don't worry, when people die in Star Trek, they're not really dead.
Hey, he's still in the transport buffet, man. He's still there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you all tell us what was your favorite episode that you were in, or a favorite scene that you did?
My favorite scene was when I'm negotiating, when I'm sitting around the table eating the fruit, which turns out to be shit, and getting up and like actually having one-on-one was a fantastic few days on set that we just focused on that like one scene. So that was great for me. Yeah, episode 12, I think that was.
I don't know that I can definitively say what was my favorite scene. I certainly enjoyed aspects of like season 5 when Trina was asked to negotiate with the Breen. That was really
so good.
exciting to explore. And I don't think we'd really seen her. We'd seen her certainly in a diplomatic capacity, but not sort of helming. And I just also really loved all the delicate, tender, soft, blooming romance scenes with Doug. They were just so. Like I really loved like the meditation scene early on. I think that was season 4. So, yeah.
I would say for me, it was in season 4 when we visited the 10C planet. That was such a sick day for me on set. One, because I've always dreamed of working on an AR wall, and we worked on one, and it was in Brampton, where I kind of like grew up when I moved to Canada, and I'm just like, I'm in my hometown filming Star Trek on an AR wall. This is too surreal. What made it even more of my favorite scene was that how they set decked it, and once they put on all the monitors, it actually felt like we're on a floating rock. Like it created an illusion that so much that people had to take like vertigo pills because they were getting nauseous. And I'm like, this is so sick. And everyone's like, how are you okay? Because I'm like, this is what my dream looks like. Every time I close my eyes and go to bed, I'm on a red planet spinning. And there's a monster right there. So it was like a beautiful moment for me. That was like my favorite day on set. I was having a field day.
Yeah, my thing was on the AR wall too, my favorite stuff, but because all the flashback stuff with the Breen, I can explain it like this really quickly, is that I play a lot of bad guys on TV, and 9 times out of 10, somebody else explains why I'm evil, or I have one line like my dad was mean to me or something. It was very, very simplistic. And when I first was given the role, it was just villain. I didn't know anything about it. And then they told me, no, we're gonna explain why. And I thought it would be some character explaining it, or they're going through Block's file or something like that. But to actually be able to go back and shoot and exactly what happened to get him and Maul to where they are, that was great. So all of that Breen stuff, all that stuff in the past with his uncle, and really trying to get the emotion through that mask was difficult. And the one note I got on set more than any note was bigger. Because I consider myself kind of like a naturalistic actor, like a subtle actor, and they were just bigger. And I remember having a conversation with Tunde saying like, okay, I'll go bigger, but you have to promise me you're not letting me get melodramatic, because I feel like I'm getting melodramatic. I feel like I'm playing like a soap opera. And he's like, I promise I will not use any soap opera takes. I'll use a good take. And he did, to their credit, not only Tunde, but the director of that episode, Jen McGowan. She was great too. They all promised me that they would take care of me, and they did. And sometimes you just gotta trust other people, because I felt like I was overacting the whole time, but I was getting through that makeup. It was very tricky, but so maybe shooting it wasn't as great because I was nervous, but watching it was very, and the validation there was like, oh, okay, this is my favorite stuff that we did in that season because of that stuff.
Thank you all.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just have 2 observations. Ms. Rosling, I think you do a wonderful job of walking a very difficult line between the emotional and the Vulcan. And if you went too emotional, people wouldn't believe it. And if you went too Vulcan, then we just figure, well, what does she see in Saru? So I just want to congratulate you on a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
And Ms. Kidder, I just think your character has entered the echelon, a very rarefied field of evil women in Star Trek. You're up there with, of course, the Borg Queen, maybe the Duras sisters, and certainly Kai Wynn. And unfortunately, most of them all got killed off. And I'm very sorry that your character got killed off. But evil women in Star Trek, Osira is right up there.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. As much as I wish I had a question for the green people, this is for Tara and Orville, because you were in the final episode with the 10C. And I know this is kind of a dicey question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I don't know how much either one of you follow U.S. politics, but how did you feel about, were you aware of who Stacey Abrams was when they cast her as the president of Earth?
No.
No.
I didn't know. That's the short answer.
Do you know who she is now?
No.
Okay. She ran for governor of the state of Georgia twice and lost. And, well, yeah. And she is extremely instrumental in getting people to register to vote in this country, particularly people of color. And she actually can be credited with, like, giving us two Democratic U.S. senators from the very conservative southern state of Georgia. President Abrams! President of Earth. So, Google her. If you know you're bored in your hotel room tonight, Google her. It was pretty cool, and she was a Star Trek fan, so her only request was not to know anything about the storyline. Anyway, that's that.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a great deal of enthusiasm from Sonequa, from Chela, about having her on set. Sonequa?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's amazing.
If the Federation split into like 4 sections, red uniforms, blue uniforms, yellow uniforms, and miscellaneous uniforms, and had like a war, who do you think would win and why?
Well, not the red.
Miscellaneous, what?
The red shirt would not win. None of the red shirts would win. Even though I know Picard wears it.
Like anyone wearing white, or like admirals with like not red, yellow, or blue, like black and white.
She's saying
Green?
Yeah.
Green?
Yep.
Well,
I would want to wear green.
I would say anyone in Section 31 is winning that war, because so the black uniform all the way.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Well, I just want to, Elias, how long did makeup take for you?
about 4.5 hours every day. Except if I had to do my hands, it was an extra, like almost 2 hours. But it's funny, because when I got the role, that's the first question I asked, how long? And then I kind of realized that's the first question everyone asks. But I kind of realized that that's not the difficult part, because I'm not working. I show up at 2:30 in the morning and I basically fall asleep, and they do all this stuff on me. They're the ones working. They're the ones who have to be there at 2:30 and paint me and do this wonderful art. The harder stuff is wearing it all day. Wearing it for a further 12 hours and fighting in it, like I said, and trying to make out. It's not easy. Stuff like that is, all that stuff is much more difficult than, the only thing that's difficult about that is just getting up at 2:30 in the morning to work. But I was saying, I did like 2 full days with David Cronenberg on the set, and I asked him all these questions. We had these great conversations, and only recently did I realize I could see him on the street and he would have no idea who I was. Because he never saw me. I got there super early and I left super late. So yeah, he has no idea what I look like.
He probably loved having conversations with a green blob.
Yeah.
Janet, how long did makeup take for you?
Yeah, 4 hours, 4 to 4.5 hours every day. And then like an hour getting it off at the end of the day as well. Because they have to do it slowly, otherwise It leaves your skin really red and
Oh God, I tore my shit
sore.
off all the time.
I
right
tried
away.
really
They
hard
got so
to
mad
not
at me.
do that because all you want to do is rip it off your face. Yeah, but again, I just want to say kudos to the artist, to the makeup artist, because you would get there, of course, way before anyone else was there, because you had this process you had to undergo. And I got to sit in a chair and have some coffee or like meditate or sleep, and they had to be on point from the moment they started to the moment they finished. So the hard work was definitely
Yeah, it's kind of a
theirs.
forgotten point. It's always
Yeah.
like, how do you feel dealing with? And I asked the same
Yeah.
question, so it's not like a weird question. It is a legitimate question, but I'm like, no, those guys were working.
They were the ones
I
that were
was sleeping.
working. And then, yeah, you know, it's. I'm not saying like it's a total breeze, because it's not. You have to sit in certain positions and all that stuff, but the majority of the time, it's not difficult to have makeup put on you. It's just, yeah.
Unless you're slightly claustrophobic, then it gets or the
You wanna
plaster.
vomit or something,
Remember the
then it's
plaster
not
thing?
good. Yeah.
When you have to get plaster to mold your face, that's like an hour sitting.
That's the
under
worst
this.
part of braces too, is that.
Yeah, like that. Except all over your face. Yeah, except that. Yeah.
Tara, how long did makeup take for you?
Trina's total processing time was 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, which is surprising, right? Because I had much less in terms of prosthetics. But yeah, from start to finish, 3 hours. And I definitely ripped my ears off a number of times at the end of the day. And I go home, I'd be driving and pulling like glue boogers off my ears. And
I actually got to keep a pair of my ears, so I have a set of Osira ears at home.
Everyone's keeping their ears.
Right? Ears are good. My cat really wants to eat the ears, but I've managed to keep my little green ears on the mantle. Yeah.
And then Orville, do you want to?
5 minutes.
Hardest part of your day?
5 minutes. Have my coffee, smile, pat, 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 over, you're done. What? Oh, okay.
We'll let you guys beat him down at the end.
I already have a question from the audience.
No, he's just saying.
Taking out? Oh, okay. So, Discovery is a very unique series in Star Trek, let alone a unique series on its own. With being a part of it and with being a part of the larger Star Trek universe, what do you hope people take away as they watch this over the years? And as added, you know, it's a divisive show, and attitudes are going to change as time goes on. What do you most hope somebody takes away while watching your show?
I mean, what every Star Trek show is about. It's about diversity, and it's about coming together, and it's about like Star Trek started out as like a moral plays essentially. Every episode was, this is what the moral of our story is, and Roddenberry started out, and Roddenberry was very quote unquote woke from the beginning. So the argument of bothers the hell out of me, this like accusatory tone of like Discovery is woke, or this is, it bothers the hell out of me, because that's what Star Trek has always been. It's always been about, I mean, whether you want to call it political correctness or if it goes too far or whatever, but the core of it, like there's arguments to be made for all of that, but the core of it is about coming together as a species, so to speak, or as a, I mean, not species, unless you're a progenitor, they're all different species. But coming together as people, as aliens, as characters, to work together to further ourselves, all right? That's what Star Trek is about. So people that complain about it, the divisiveness of it, it's starting to really piss me off. And I really have to get off Twitter. Like, I really have to get off Twitter.
But we love you there. We love your posts.
Yeah, thanks. I really have to stop, though, guys. It's like...
I want to piggyback off of what you just said, because I truly believe that Star Trek is about family and unity. That's a huge scope, and that's what we all want in the world, for all of us to work together for the betterment of the human race. Now, that's really difficult to sit down 7+ billion people and have them all agree on how this should run. But I'd say Discovery teaches you to start with a group of people that you can trust, that has different traits that you can complement each other with, because none of our missions would have succeeded without the help of an individual from the team. I'm telling you, you guys saw it. You guys saw it. Sonequa almost died like 100 million times. If Culber didn't save her, if Tilly didn't save her, if she didn't have anyone on her team with a specific set of skills, she wouldn't have made it. And she wouldn't have made it till the very end and see her full mission all the way through. And because she had people who she trusts, loved, respected, and talented individuals that want to work together, that's the reason why we made it so far. So I think we could just start there. just find a group of people and expand from there.
I would just say that I hope people take away from it whatever they need to take away from it, and the fact that it speaks to so many people, I think, is just a testament to all that it has to offer in terms of universal themes, but certainly in terms of we are all one. And I have this great shirt, the new Be Kind shirt. You know, that's certainly something that. That Discovery embodies on all levels.
I guess the celebration of all that we can be, that we might want to be, but maybe we think we shouldn't be. The celebration of diversity and inclusion, I guess, is what I hope that they would take away from Star Trek, because every character on there is really going for. Even Osira, she did not very good things, but she did them because she wanted to protect her people. And so I think the sort of the morality of most of the people on the show, the dedication, the passion to their races, to their cause, is something that perhaps we could take away with us a little bit.
All right, well, yes, thank you. We've come to our final question, and the show is Discovery. So I'm wondering, being on the show, either working with the crew or embodying the character you became, what did you discover about yourself being on Star Trek?
I mean, like, for me, it's just, okay, it's not exactly inspiring. It's just literally like, okay, I learned that I can have patience with sitting there for 4 hours and then sitting there and waiting to wait. The one thing is Discovery does, and a lot of TV shows do this, is they shoot a lot. And there's a lot of it where I'm like, you guys don't need to shoot this. Can I go home? like really, you don't need this shot. So it was patience for me, but that's more of a technical thing. And in terms of, I don't know, like, well, how the show, Star Trek has always just inspired me in that same way that everybody said on the stage, just inspired to do better. Right? That's the thing you love about Star Trek. Like, I love all sorts of sci-fi, and there's like hard sci-fi that I like, and depressing sci-fi that I like sci-fi of the 70s, where every movie ended in a terrible, terrible tragedy, or the more hopeful sci-fi like Star Trek, and that's why I think people take to it. So yeah, I mean, Discovery is just in that vein, right? In that mold of like hope. That's what it is.
For me, as an actor, I think the technical aspect of working behind prosthetics was something that I would love to do forever, because I took bigger risks and I was freer as an actor and less judgmental or concerned about my things because I was behind a mask. And leaving that show after doing that has given me the sort of the impetus, the courage to be able to take those chances when I am not behind a mask. And I really appreciate that, and I love how much I loved working with prosthetics. I would do it again in a second. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, just if I can speak to that really quickly, it does, because I always, every actor I think does this. It's like, I don't like this angle of my face. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like this. But under the mask, you're like, I don't care. This is great. You can look at me whatever way you want, because it's not really me. So it's true. I did feel that too.
I discovered that I really love wearing Vulcan haute couture. But what I did, I discovered a different realm in terms of Tara the actor, because up until most of my career, I am a hyper-emotional human being, and I've been cast in many very dramatic parts historically. So it was a completely new character for me to explore, and I discovered that I loved sort of living on top or corseting the emotional world and being forced or invited to live through the world of specifically of the mind, of the logic. So that was very exciting and challenging and deeply rewarding.
the thing I discovered, I think I'm still discovering in myself, is still a journey for me. What I discovered was from watching Sonequa and David Ajala. From watching Sonequa, I truly discovered what it truly meant to be a leader. Because as an actor, or just as a human being, but I'll speak on acting more because most of my friends are in the industry and they want to reach the pinnacle of their career, and the pinnacle of their career is just being a lead. But I think we all shoot for it, but we don't really know what that mantle requires of us. And it's like, because we're looking at the short-sightedness of it. Being a good lead means being a good leader. And watching Sonequa on set every day of how she carries and changes the energy of the entire cast and crew. I'm telling you, we're on hour 13 and everyone just had, cheesecake donuts from the donut truck. I don't know who ordered the cheesecake donuts at 2 a.m. in the morning when we were doing an explosion scene, but it was a bad idea. But Sonequa knew that the energy's falling and she can come and bring it back up, and it's like we refresh and we're starting the day again. And she's a really good leader because she just makes everyone smile. She comes around, gives everyone a fist pound before we start, and really energizes everyone. And watching David Ajala, it was really inspiring to me as an actor because his focus is incredible. Like, everyone is like, having a great time on set before the cameras roll. David is so serious. He's doing squats, he's doing push-up, he's yelling, he's getting into the mood, and soon action comes on. I swear to you, one time I was just looking because I wasn't on camera, it was just him, his close-up. I swear to you, he was doing this, and Tunde yelled action, and he went, and it was the most beautiful moment. I almost shed a tear. I was just like, these are the two people. I almost saw them as like my set parents, where David Ajala is a strong father figure and Sonequa was a loving mother, and I want to take both of those energies and incorporate it in my craft. So that's something I'm still discovering myself, how to be a great leader and how to be a focused, determined, and strong actor. And I'm so grateful that I got to witness these two beautiful and amazing artists on the show.
That's fantastic. Thank you, everybody. And remember, the lessons from our characters: find your family, find true love, fight for your people, don't do too many drugs. All right. And here is our Strange New Worlds Theories and Queries panel. It is a bit truncated. The audience participation went a little bit off the rails, but we kept the salient points for Theories and Queries of Strange New Worlds Season 3. We had a great time. We opened up the entire convention with this panel. It was the first panel. And man, I think we set off on a good foot. So enjoy. And we will see you next time for a very special guest interview for our Strange New Worlds recasting 80s and 90s actors, if it were made in the TNG era. So enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trek Long Island. We're the opening panel tonight. We are here to present Season 3 Strange New Worlds Theories and Queries. I am John T. Bolds, one of the hosts of Open Pike Night.
I'm Cameron Harrison, one of the other hosts of Open Pike Night.
My name is Todd A. Davis. I'm the host of the Computer Resume podcast, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Julian Brown. I'm the host and creator of Strange New Pod, also wherever you find your podcasts.
Before we get really started, we just want to thank everybody working and organizing Trek Long Island. This is such an amazing effort. I'm looking really forward to this weekend. I think everybody's going to have a great time. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the second time we've done a Theories and Queries podcast, and we have a few surprises tonight and a few little bits of hints from cast and crew of Strange New Worlds. Whenever we interview them on the podcast, we ask for a one-word tease. But first up, we have a special call-in.
That's right. Yeah, we've got a long time to go to Season 3, so all we got are these little nibbles.
Hey, this is Henry Alonzo Myers, excited to say hello to Open Pike Night and everyone in the audience here at the Theories and Queries panel. In fact, I'm so excited, I feel compelled to share with you that at the very end of Season 3, there's going to be an amazing... DoorDash. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later, though.
Classic Henry.
He always tries to evade that question of what's going to happen. But no, we don't like spoilers, but we like speculating wildly, and that's what we're here to do tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready to go wild. Podcasters gone wild.
I just love Henry.
Yeah, I know.
Like, legitimately, like one of the nicest dudes in the world. Yeah.
I don't have to take my shirt off, do I?
You don't have to, but...
Okay, good. This podcast is going to get fun real quick.
All right,
you guys don't know what's in this tumbler. So.
I was going to say, I'm the one who has the beer. Well, yeah, and John.
A beer?
All right, yeah, we've been collecting some one-word teases of what we have been getting out of the cast and crew, and let's hear those.
Well, then the other ask is, we've tiptoed around season 3 a little bit. Is there a single word you can give us to tease us about season 3 that out of context means nothing, but when we watch season 3, we'll go, Martin.
I suppose my word would be, but I'm so nervous in case I'm messing up, but al dentium. Just see if that comes up.
Terrarium. When that word comes up, you'll maybe remember, but...
I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Mortagus.
Oh! You
Well,
heard
I
it
would
here
say that
first!
much, but I'm going to say Mortagus.
You know us so well.
Dun, dun, dun!
Ooh.
Perfect.
Magical, maybe? Well, I was going to say, surprise.
It could be many things. It could be everything. It could be very specific, or it could be very general. But after the season airs, we can talk more about it.
Okay.
The word is home.
All right. Well, that explains everything about season 3 right there.
Yeah, right there. I mean, we don't even need to stream it when it comes out. They certainly don't need the numbers to say they want every season to be, every show to be, 10, 20 seasons? How many are we looking for? So yes, we had Al Dentium from Martin Quinn, who is our new Scotty. We had Mortagus from writer Bill Wolkoff. Surprising from Marjorie Simpkin, one of the casting directors. Our interview with Marjorie and Orly will be releasing Tuesday, right after this panel, right after the convention. Terrarium from director Jordan Canning, who directed Charades last season. Home from our very own Ortegas, Melissa Navia. Magical from Orly Sidowitz, the other casting director for the series and for Star Trek Discovery. And dun 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 for Christina Chong, who is, of course, Lon Noonien Sip.
Well, I want to start off with this query. At the end of season 2, my question was, would our new Scotty be sticking around for all of season 3, or was he just going to pop in and out, sort of like Kirk? What do we think?
You go ahead.
Oh, he's absolutely sticking around because we have to rekindle the relationship between Palia and Scotty so that their bond grows strong before Palia dies.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to say Scotty's sticking around the whole season, but I was going to say that's so Palia can go run off on adventures with Amanda Grayson. So, I think that needs to happen at some point for sure. But yeah, he's around the whole season.
Absolutely. He's here. He's here for good in the series. I think he'll show up more than Jim Kirk has been. I think he will become our Enterprise engineer near or at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some mentorship. I think Peli's going to stick around a little longer. And we get to see, and hopefully we get to see, some fun. It seemed like they have a really good back and forth, those two characters.
Yeah, I also just want to add with Scotty, we kind of know that at some point in a future with Pike as captain, that he's the chief engineer at some point. So it's not like out of the realm of possibility for him to take over.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did get some words that, some information we didn't get for our podcast, but that have come through press and other things. So we had, what's our next?
Yeah, well, let's talk genres because old Kiva had joked that Muppets? Sure, let's have some Muppets. Which I'd be down for. I mean, season 2 has shown that Strange New Worlds likes to play in the genre sandbox.
Well, here's the thing. Are we going to get, Muppets popping over shoulders, or is it going to be weird when you see Kermit walk and it's because it is unsettling.
I just want to see the
Kermit
entire
walking is unsettling. You can fight me on that. That's fine. But it's unsettling.
The entire crew riding bicycles as puppets.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah.
If they do it as well as the Angel episode, then I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair. The other genre hint we got came from Jonathan Frakes in the same article, I believe, saying he is directing a Hollywood murder mystery. So, my question for everyone is, what genres do you think, or would you just like to see Strange New Worlds tackle next?
Ooh.
cooking show.
Nice.
Is it absolutely horrible of me to say Hollywood Murder Mystery? Because like the minute that he said that, I just wanted this episode to come out now.
Have I got good news for you, Julian?
It's coming out?
It's coming.
Oh my God! Amazing. No, like legitimately, I didn't know what I wanted, just knowing like the cliffhanger that we get at the end of season 2, and I just want to know what happens with that. And then you get this interview from Variety where he says that, and I'm like, I don't think I've wanted anything in Star Trek more since we've already gotten the musical and the Lower Decks crossover. So,
absolutely. So with these words here, with all these clues dropped from the cast and crew, does anybody have a theory based on those? Because I can start. I've got a fun one for Terrarium.
It is, go for it.
All right, so we've had a fantasy episode where everybody hallucinated they were somebody else. We've had a musical episode. We've had all kinds of stuff. Weird stuff happened to this crew in 20 episodes. And I kind of feel like Terrarium from Jordan Canning is a hint at, and I'm gonna spoil one of our future slides here, is a hint that's that shot we got in Variety of Spock working in his lab. I think the entire crew is going to be stricken with some crazy space madness. Who knows what? It's going to be something way out there, and Spock is the only one who can solve it.
Make it but.
No. They're all faking it and just messing with Spock the whole
Nice.
time. Trying to see
He's
how-
so mean.
No, it's an hour-long Jim and Dwight prank.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Fantastic.
Like the whole
I'm
crew
all for it.
in
yeah.
on it, and then just one morning, like everything's back to normal, and like Spock, what are you talking about?
am I wrong in thinking that Jordan Canning also said though that we know that she comes from the comedy background, but that she was doing a more serious episode this season? Did I just make that up?
I'm not sure.
I feel like she said that somewhere. I could be dead wrong.
Maybe he solves some mystery of the universe by accident while the crew is messing with him. Maybe it's like one of those "oops, I made dynamite" kind of things.
Well, sure. I'll do my theory next, which goes into the genres. We actually had a whole article on genres we wanted to see. If you wanted to go to openpike.com, is my organic plug here, and you can check out our genre trekking article. So I'm stealing this one from there, but we've got a lot on there. So back in our very first interview with Henry Alonzo Meyer, I think it was Abby from the First Flight podcast, asked him about holiday specials, and he lit up and told us he loves holiday specials. And I thought you could see the gears turning in his head. So I think we're getting a holiday special, and that's my semi-serious theory. If I may speculate a bit more wildly, I think Bill Wolkoff's Mortagus is telling us more than we think it is. It could just mean we're getting more Ortegas. But Bill's a good wordsmith, and I think we're getting more than one Ortegas. I think we're getting a classic Trek doubles episode, maybe triple or quadruple, with Ortegas. And so I think we are going to learn that her war trauma that has been implied happened around the holiday Christmas time for her, and she's become a bit of a Scrooge. And what's the one thing that can pull her out of that? Perhaps a visit from the ghosts of Ortega's past, present, and future. I mean, we got a It's a Wonderful Life version of alternate timeline and time travel at the end of season 1. Why not a Christmas Carol version here? Why does Ortegas making it to the Christmas party affect the timeline? I don't know. I'm going to leave that to a good writer like Bill Wolkoff to figure out. But that's my theory.
Is it okay if I combine two?
Absolutely.
Please.
I mean,
Whatever.
I'm gonna go crazy. So Terrarium and Aldentium seem like they could combine very easily. Like Scotty's gonna come up with some crazy way to build a terrarium out of Aldentium, which seems like a very powerful metal.
What? That's so out of character
That's
for
so
him.
out of character. Scotty would never do anything like that. And I think Jordan Canning said or via Instagram is directing episode 3 of season 3. Y'all can correct me after the panel, but if that's right, you could still theoretically say you're doing something with the Gorn. And maybe they're building like a habitat for the Gorn to do their Gorn thing as a way to like slow them down. And they're like, well, we'll go. And this is why we don't see the Gorn again until TOS. So they build the Gorn their own terrarium.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
You could get baby Gorn pets.
Baby Gorn pets and everything.
yes.
Yeah.
My son would definitely want a baby Gorn pet.
I'd like a Gorn plushie, but Paramount doesn't know how to market, so. Oh my God, look! Raise it up, come on. There we go. But did you get that from anywhere Paramount related? There we go. Of course not.
Why would you make money off of your
Thank you, Target.
How dare you make money off your own IPs?
Screw these words. Doctor Who crossover.
Which doctor?
No, the British one. not a witch doctor. Witch doctor.
That's a good comment. Written by Brandon Sanford.
Absolutely. All right, so
it worked in the comics.
Yeah. So I've got a query based on some of this and some of the conversation we've had with our guests. Do you think the Gorn threat will be pretty much past by the time season 3 is over?
Yes.
Yes. No. I think we've gotten the tip of the iceberg. Ooh. Although I think, to be honest, the first showing of the Gorn was a little bit more of a favorite of mine because I love the idea of finding out that the Gorn are kind of more like the shark in Jaws. Like, the less you see of them, the more terrifying they are. And we've gotten a pretty good look at them. But that just means we have to ratchet up. Like, you thought that one episode was scary. Buckle up. Like, and I trust this crew to do that. So.
Memento Mori was terrific.
Oh, it's a terrific, yeah,
terrific.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I want to see them. I mean, they're batting 1,000. So like, let's start swinging for the fences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're. I don't think it's going to be just like, oh, we're done. We're never going to see him again until TOS and which is all right. Threat over, onto the new threat. I don't feel like the writers and the current showrunners would do it with that hard a stop, but I think we'll be on the downslope. I think there will be some control measure, some. I don't know. I don't want to say like bioengineered disease. That feels really dark for Starfleet, even in that time frame.
Oh, you mean the changelings and the
exactly?
Not like Starfleet has something like that before.
Yeah. I just think it's a little early for that from Starfleet, but it's not impossible. But maybe a famine, maybe something from the core of the Gorn civilization is going to start spreading outward to the rest of their ships.
So I have a question, kind of. Spinning off of that.
Go for it.
When I was prepping for this panel, as you can tell by my copious notes, I had two questions, and one was who's coming back, which I think we've already talked about that a little bit, and who's going to die. So, and let's be honest, like nothing ratchets up the immediacy and emotion connected with a cast than seeing one of them die. And we've got some folks that we know aren't making it to TOS. In which case, narratively, who does it make sense to die at the hand of the Gorn? And I think we all know the answer to that question. Do I think it's going to happen in season 3? No. Do I think it's going to happen before the end of the run? Bet your ass.
Anybody not know who we're talking about?
Raise your hand if you don't know who we're talking about. I believe we're all talking about Lon
Pike's horse.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I want to make sure we are all on the same page.
There is someone else I think who is going to die, but I'll save that.
Oh. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! It is funny that like the two people who you're right. It's Batel. Her fate is certainly in question, and then Pelia. But I feel like both of them kind of have narrative bullet-proof armor right now because if Batel died, she would die in the exact same way Himmer did. And I don't think the writers are that hacky to kill off two characters in the same way. And it kind of with Pelia, like, oh, they're going to kill the engineer off again and graduate up a new engineer. It doesn't seem like they're just going to follow that path.
Because Scotty I don't think Scotty ever really got any sort of, that we saw on screen, tragedy until Wrath of Khan.
But I just think you need the buddy cop between Pelia and Scotty, right? Like he's too green to become the chief engineer. So
the buddy cop thing has to get both of them out of their elements, and for engineers, so we're talking the Christmas party. That's the Christmas special.
I knew it.
Pelia and Scotty just being like, so we dance to this song.
Just constantly ending up under the mistletoe.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, who hung this from the doorway?
Is Scotty an orphan? Is he ready to be an actual officer yet, or does he still have both parents living?
Oh, jeez.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? How many orphans are there in command level of the Starfleet?
Listen, I think you need a whole panel for that.
If he's ever going to become Batman, we need both of them to die.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Right.
absolutely.
We want to hear from our other caller?
Yes, we have our dear co-host on Open Pike Night, Jesse, could not be here, but he sent us both a theory and a query. We'll start with the theory.
Hello, Trek Long Island Trekkies. This is Jesse from Open Pike Night. I'm very bummed that I can't be there with my wonderful co-hosts to experience the convention with you, but I just couldn't help myself. I have to send a theory for Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. I think that with Scotty and Pelia still on the Enterprise, both being engineering marvels, and with the away team trapped on the Gorn ship, the only way to keep everyone safe and alive and resolve the conflict outside of, some form of diplomatic understanding, which could happen, but I don't think it will. I think Scotty and Pelia will find a way to simulate some kind of artificial sunspot that will tell the Gorn that they need to go to sleep, much like Geordi and Data did in Best of Both Worlds Part 2. I think this works because it keeps everything intact. Maybe they find some way to keep the Gorn from reporting what happened so that TOS canon stays intact, but even if it doesn't, I don't really care. I love Strange New Worlds, and I think they're doing a great job with the canon, and sometimes that means discarding it when it's necessary. Have an excellent convention, and don't forget to listen to Open Pike Night.
That was a great plug.
Yeah. Jesse is a master at that.
Very good.
Jesse, we miss you. We're sorry you can't be here, but thank you very much for the theory.
I mean, if you invented the cells.
Yeah. Right?
That's just science.
And reverse the polarity.
Listen, I'm a podcaster and comedian, but that is science.
And if you eject the warp core and blow it up, I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with that.
Hey, dial it back. All right?
Is Shax there, though,
Let's
to
not
do
get
it?
crazy.
That's the most important
Right.
question.
We'll load Shax into a torpedo tube and just...
I'll add on to his theory just a little bit and say, I like the sunspot idea. I like the getting them to go dormant again. But what happens when sunspots, big ones, go off? There's a lot of electrical stuff that gets messed with, and so it just happens to hit all of the records of the Gorn that Starfleet has. And
so it damages Enterprise, which causes them to have to basically downgrade into what we get in TOS.
Come on! Don't feed the trolls.
Listen.
Come on.
How else are we going to get cardboard sets if we don't fry? Listen, to have something new and great means you have to tear the old thing down. Okay.
Listen,
So this is what's going to happen.
This is a wonderful group of amazing Trekkies and Trek fans here at Trek Long, but there's got to be at least one person here who's like, that's not the Enterprise. I'm not wrong.
I'm still waiting for Jim Kirk to walk into Pike's quarters and be like, these quarters are big. You've got a fire?
I need to downgrade them.
It's too much. No captain should have this.
We talked about this theory, God knows when, because I feel like Strange New Worlds has been off forever. We talked about the sunspot theory. It's a good theory. I hope it's not as simple as what Jesse said, though, is like data, sleep data. We needed to have a little bit more substance, because like you said, these writers know what they're doing. They've written some really great episodes, so I really hope it's not just as simple as that. It's a little bit more.
They have to eject Pelia into the sun.
They do. Thank you. They have to have Scotty have some kind of widget. That's,
yeah, the question has to be asked, so Pelia, how immortal are you exactly? like what kind of immortal are we talking?
The progenitors would not be able to bring her back.
No.
Too soon?
Too soon.
I would like to see what a sunspot does to her hair, though.
Oh man. Oh, absolutely. It'd be like a million balloons rubbed against her head, just poof, like crazy.
She just comes out looking like Miracle Max's wife.
I'm not a witch, I'm an engineer.
Have fun storming the Gorn. All right, guys, who is playing Cybok?
Ooh.
I know.
Zachary Quinto.
Okay.
Oh man.
That was
Next
for
question.
MC.
All right.
I know he's too old, but I can't get Antonio Banderas out of my head. I'm sorry. I'm sticking with him. We don't know how Vulcans age.
That sounds like something that we shouldn't discuss on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
If you can't get him out of your head, I'm just saying.
I'm just.
This is a family event.
It's Antonio.
This is a family event?
You should probably dial it back.
Have you seen? Okay.
Yeah.
Original Sin.
I like the Zachary Quinto theory. That would be a big swing on the part of everybody. I'd love to see. God. So there's this comedian named Todd A. Davis. I would love to see him in a bowl cut with some pointy ears, dialing back his little brother energy to play Sabak. Yeah. And since no one thinks that's funny, I'll say pick one of the doc. Get Matt Smith. I don't care.
Ooh, I think he's got too much of a baby face, though.
You haven't seen me with a beard, without a beard, sir.
Well, do we have clippers?
That'll cost you extra.
Oh.
I'll take the obvious and fun answer. I'm going to say, because we talked about it, Bruce Horak. I think they bring Bruce Horak back. Maybe just for a little bit.
But you triple dip.
Yeah, absolutely, you triple. Look at Jeffrey Combs.
I retract my statement. Yeah, that's the Jeffrey Combs theory. That's another. That's science, folks.
Yeah. I mean, if Jeffrey Combs were younger, I would say Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs could still come back as Dr. Boyce, so you know.
Absolutely.
I'd like Jeffrey Combs to come back as my own dad.
Oh, can I add one more? Like, I basically said Zachary Quinto just to get a reaction from MC. My real answer is half Zachary Quinto, half, like, if they could be a hybrid, no BS here, John Krasinski. I think he's got, like...
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he would really work, and he could also do kind of the crazy a bit. If you've seen any of Jack Ryan on Prime, like, when he gets in a mood, just saying.
Well, it might just be the Fantastic Four connection, but now I've got Pedro Pascal in my head.
It would also work really well.
Absolutely.
You have a type.
Basically,
I've known this guy for 22 years.
Listen, this is a safe space.
So I think we'll just nominate Pedro Pascal.
All right, he's our new.
Excellent.
I think that is the way they should go.
But we don't have
Available for parties, bar mitzvahs, corporate events. Thanks so much, everybody.
All right, so we get Jesse's query now?
Yeah, let's get Jesse's query. We'll get to some of those too.
If you thought that was all I was going to send, then you just don't listen to Open Pike Night because you know I have more to say. This time, it's a query for Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. Knowing that they have made kind of a big deal of Spock and Chapel getting ready to spend some time apart, and knowing as we do that Chapel is going to an internship, do we think that we will get to see her on her internship? Or do we think that she'll just be gone from a couple of episodes? And, bonus question, do we think we might get to see a young Dr. McCoy temporarily take over for Christine Chapel while she is away learning about androids? All right, that's all I got. I promise this time that's really it. Listen to Open Pike Night.
Like he does his residency on Enterprise.
Sure.
So now we need a Scrubs episode. But Bones is JD, and we'll round out the rest of that crew.
Or maybe they go so dark with this season that he's like all cheerful and fresh.
And it just destroys him.
Yeah.
I don't have a red shirt, but I have red shoes. I deep cut for Scrubs.
I don't know how many people I speak for here, but I really hope that we don't see Bones ever on Strange New Worlds unless he comes attached with Jim Kirk.
Who hurt you?
No one hurt me, but no, seriously though, like Jim Kirk, I feel like is attached to Bones. Like that's a friendship. It's not Pike and Bones, right? Like you have Pike and Spock established from the menagerie in the cage. Bones and Kirk you get from multiple episodes of the original series, from the Kelvinverse. I mean, two peas in a pod. I don't want to see him unless he's like Kirk's doctor aboard the Farragut, right? And they somehow give him an episode. I'd like to just, honestly, there's nothing wrong with Strange New Worlds introducing original characters. And an original nurse would be great, like someone we've never met before. So I'd rather not see Bones.
I think she'll do her internship over the break. I think when we come back, she'll be coming back from her internship. I think Jess Bush is there for as many episodes as they can get her into. They love her.
I saw Dr. Cochran walk in, which means it's about time for us to wrap up our panel.
I've got one more word. I thought in the middle of all of this, talking about genres and the Hollywood murder mystery, just hashtag Noirtagus. Ooh, Noirtagus.
Love that.
Yeah.
They haven't done a Western.
Oh, I mean, that's coming.
That's coming. I'd love to see where, because Subspace Rhapsody, we got the musical. I'd like to see them hit with something else, and everybody goes like goth emo. I think that's just fun.
I want to see Spock on a horse next to Pike.
Yeah.
I just want to see Daddy Pike on a horse again.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm John T. Bowles.
Cameron Pearson.
Toddy Davis. Julian Brown.
We appreciate you all. Enjoy the convention.
Welcome to Trek Long Island, everybody.
Yeah. We'd like to thank Trek Long Island once again for inviting us to host these panels and for inviting us to the show. It was fantastic to see how much podcaster support there was from this new, more fledgling type convention. But man, if you get a chance to go to Trek Long Island, Open Pike Night gives it a wholehearted seal of approval. It's been a long night. It's been a long weekend. It's going to be a long summer and a long time till we see Strange New World. So Open Pike Night has to go get some sleep. So be sure to clean up after yourselves. Be sure to tip your servers. You can go anywhere you want, but you can't stay here.